I have survived 100% of the days that I have lived because I'm still here today. I have survived 100% of those days, which means that moving forward, I am still going to be able to survive. That all the past thoughts, all the negative stories, all the rabbit holes I dug myself down in the past did not create a day in which I didn't survive. I've survived 100% of them, which should give me the confidence and trust that I'll be able to survive moving forward. How many of you, like me, have ever been waiting for the perfect moment to start something and it never comes? If you're like me, that happens quite often, especially when I'm trying to find that perfect time to be able to work, to spend that hour and a half in editing a video or recording a speech or whatever it may be. I look for that perfect time and it never seems to come. And it seems that decision to be able to follow my dream never occurs because of the indecision in taking the decision in imperfect timing. Back 3 months ago, I came across this challenge that is probably worldwide by now, but it's called 75 Hard. 75 Hard is, in some people's words, an excruciating diet fitness plan to where you have to work out twice a day. One has to be outside, where you have to follow a diet, no cheat meals, no alcohol. You got to drink a gallon of water. You also got to read 10 pages in a book and take a progress picture, which is hard for some of us who might not like looking at our own bodies in the mirror. You have to do all of those every single day perfectly for 75 days. I've heard about this for probably a year and a half now from different friends. And I've seen some friends do it and they've, after many attempts, become successful at it. I've also seen friends who start it and then it kind of just melts away into them just not completing it. And so I thought to myself, what if I were to do it? What if I were to, as this 295-pound man, almost 300, sitting at my max weight, what if I were to do it? Because I had a vision for the future. I knew that when my girls grew up, that I didn't want to be that dad at their wedding to where when you do the slow dance, it's hard for me to stand up. It's hard for me to walk over there, difficult to dance. And then looking back at the videos and the pictures, thinking, I wish I looked better for my kids. I didn't want that. I want to be that dad where those viral videos go out of where you're slow dancing with your daughter and then all of a sudden the music changes and then the awesome choreography and doing flips and doing a bunch of cool stuff. I want to be that dad. I want to be like that surprising factor with my daughter. But I knew I couldn't have that if I looked the way that I did. So 75 hard was an option. And I felt like I've tried all the other diets, all the other weight loss strategies in the book, and I didn't want to give myself shots or liposuction or anything like that. I simply wanted to do it myself to where I built a habit rather than finding a shortcut. So I had a decision to make. And as I sat there thinking, I thought about what was going to happen the next 75 days. Now, champions, listen to this. Over the next 75 days, 3 months ago, I was moving from Utah to Idaho, all of our stuff, and not just once, but twice, because I got to come back for my daughter's preschool graduation. So we're moving twice. I also volunteer to camp each year for type 1 diabetic teenagers, in which I'll be gone for a week, in which if I were to have to stick with that, how in the world is that going to happen? Like most people, I had family reunions, I had vacations. This is the summertime. And one by one, by one, by one, these excuses continued to come up. So I thought about it and I didn't know what to do. There was so much going on. How could I put time into doing this pretty rigorous diet and fitness goal. And as I thought about it, that vision of the future of what I wanted came back, and not the good one. I thought about what would happen if I didn't make that decision today. What if I didn't choose today to do 75 hard? I would still be overweight, if not more overweight until obesity. Let alone the physique, but the bones and muscles in my body would age a lot quicker. My family would get leftover energy from me, which I never, ever want to give my family leftover energy. The people I come in contact with won't see me as this example and mentor and coach that I want them to see me as. Some people might, but it won't be the exact same way as if I did it. And as I thought more about the negative things that happen, I finally chose to make a decision, which was buying the app for, I think it was like $7, buying the app, opening up to day one, and starting there. At day 11 was our first move. And I can tell you from day one to day 11, I felt more energy and endurance, to which it actually helped me out in the move. And from simply making that decision, I went through 2 moves. I went through a week long with teenagers. I went with a bunch of family vacations. I went through different podcast interviews with my podcast and other people's. One by one, by one by one, things happened, and I still made it happen. Day by day, I continued forward doing it flawlessly. And where I'm at right now, I'm sitting at 265 pounds, which is 30 pounds less than I was at that time. My physique is tighter. I look good. I don't know about you guys. I think I look good. I'm looking great. And I'm grateful for that decision I made. Looking back on it, there are 3 things that came up, 3 lessons that I learned from that day one to where I'm at right now that I want to share with you. Because the indecision back then would have killed the dream that I was creating forward. And for each and every one of you, let me share those lessons with you. The first one is that when you are indecisive, which means you just don't make a decision, you feel safe, but it keeps you stuck. Think about this in an equation form. This side, waiting equals avoidance. Waiting equals avoidance. Every single time in which I wait to do something, and it's because I am avoiding something else. I am trying to be safe, be comfortable, not be outside in a growth zone, but I'm sticking in a comfort area. Waiting equals avoidance. So the question to ask yourself is this: what am I avoiding? And whatever you are avoiding, I would highly recommend that you put that as the number 1 priority to doing today, because the difference between decision and indecision is simply one clear choice. The second thing is that there is never a good time. My friends, there is never a good time. There is never a perfect time. There is never a perfect moment in which the universe will align, that it'll start right then. The best time is starting right now. Starting where you're at. You might have to knock your ego down. You might make mistakes going forward, but the best time is to start right now. Because I can tell you what, the bill in which you get from doing the dream that you want is always going to be less than at the end of your life getting what we call the bill of regret, which is going to be multiples of times. Because when you're at that point, you don't have time for your dream anymore. My friends, there's never a great time, never a perfect moment to start something, which means the best time to start is right now. And then the third one is you got to trust yourself. Trust yourself that you are able to adapt, able to move forward, because you survived. One of my favorite things to tell people whenever they feel down about themselves or don't know what to move forward is this. And I tell myself all this. I tell there's dyslexia. I tell this to myself all the time as well because I have doubts. I tell myself, I have survived 100% of the days that I have lived because I'm still here today. I have survived 100% of those days, which means that moving forward, I am still going to be able to survive. That all the past thoughts, all the negative stories, all the rabbit holes I dug myself down in the past did not create a day in which I didn't survive. I've survived 100% of them, which should give me the confidence and trust that I'll be able to survive moving forward. Number one, indecision feels safe but keeps you stuck. Number two, there is never a perfect time. So just start today. And number three is that trust yourself because you've survived 100% of the days that you have already lived. So I'll end with this. A question for you wonderful champions, which is what decision am I avoiding? Whatever that decision is, that should be your number one priority to start today. Because when you start that today, you start moving forward on the path and the journey in which you need to toward that dream that you want. But the indecision today, the moment of waiting, of avoiding to do something that's hard, is going to still lead you down the path, but not towards your dream, but towards something else in which you don't desire. Indecision is still a decision, and it is the worst decision. So make the decision today and realize that you don't need more time. You just need one clearer choice.